Just in case they ain't get the picture the first time around.
I see you, hater. My motivator. Y'all make me greater. Yeah. Pirates.
Alright, y'all. Now it's time to move on. We did the body work yesterday. Now it's time to put the G6 Panoramic into the box Chevy. Here's the G6 Panoramic, the donor car. Our first step is removing this top. So we're gonna get that done right quick.
The next day.
Following morning, I removed the top last night. We're good to go. And this area here on both sides, it's not rusted out. A lot of times these box Chevys, it be rusted out right here. Also down up in here. And here's the top. Next step for the day, we're gonna remove the G6 Panoramic. We're gonna have to take the headliner down first and all that before we do anything. But I was thinking, since I'm gonna say this G6, I'm just gonna put his actual roof in it because I don't want to be liable and put one of mine in, then it mess up. So we're gonna put his roof in. I'm gonna use one of my skin pieces, so I ain't gotta worry about cutting this out. Then I'm just gonna go to my storage and grab one of my roof. I got 3 of them. I know 2 of them good and one of them just like for parts. I'll probably just grab one that's good and just put it in here for the time being. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to my storage and grab one of them roof, and then we're gonna come back and I guess take this one here out. I gotta grab the skin too, I can't forget that. Made it back from the storage. I just went and grabbed the one that I had for parts, this one here. I think the glass off track, one of these, maybe 2. I'm not sure. I don't even know if it worked or not. I never tested it, but I just got it for parts because when I went to the yard, somebody had already took the controls out, but I went on and pulled it anyway because you know you need parts for the G6. Then I got a headliner board. See, I already had 2 skins here at the house. I can use either one. I got another one at the storage, but I'm gonna use one of these. So I ain't gotta cut the top off the G6. That's the headliner I'll be using. Headliner board. So now we're just gonna take this one here out. Gotta go through all this here, taking the headliner down, making sure we don't tear up now. Alright, y'all. Me and Ro, we finna try to pull it up out of there. We got everything unhooked. We're gonna try to pull it through the roof because the headliner in the way, so we ain't gonna be able to get it outside the doors without tearing up the headliner. So we're gonna pull it through the roof.
Hold on, sir.
I got it though. It ain't gonna fall. You just grab the bottom.
If it's stuck on something, hold it right there. Don't move something.
No, it's stuck on. Let's do it.
All right.
Alright, we're gonna leave it right there. Alright. We need a stand. Guess we'll put it.
You just did. They got the lightest thing on it.
We're gonna take it back down that stand, y'all.
When I was looking at it, I was like, "Hey, we got to."
There she goes. She out. She's out of there. Now it's time to start coming up with the game plan, installing it. Let me go get some cardboard so I can make a template of the frame. I'm gonna clean up the frame, so remove those jagged edges. I'll probably use, don't really matter, either one of them, but I'm cleaning up the jagged edges. All right, y'all, now we're about to start cleaning the frame of it up, the skin, whatever you want to call it. See right here, we got to cut this off. This not needed. It'll be in the way to drop it down into the box Chevy, so we're gonna cut that. I also cut this here, and we're gonna have to cut some of this here off because you can see when I cut it out the car, I actually cut it a little bit too far. I ain't got no lip, so we're gonna cut some of this here off. Same way with this side. Then this front, we're gonna cut this here off. Probably cut some of that off, but I got a little lip to work with. Cut that off. We'll be using a cutoff wheel on the grinder. Everything pretty much trimmed. Now we'll take the cutoff wheel off the grinder and put a flap disc on it. We're gonna grind all this. We'll clean this jagged edge up here around the edge. Also, we're gonna flip it over and grind all the paint off the other side. So I gotta remove all this rubber, whatever this is here. See, I got the edges rounded off. I just got to do the back now. All right, I got the skin prepped up. I was gonna grind all that down to brown metal because the clip was somewhat flaking, but I just took the 80 grit on the DA and hit up here, feather edged it. Around the edge mainly would need to be grinded down to brown metal for welding. So now we'll jump back on the car over here. Start removing all this trim that's gonna be in our way. We're gonna remove this windshield trim here. Also the trim around the A-pillar in this top. And we gotta take down the headliner here. All this trim gotta come down. Some others. So let's get to doing that. Okay, I got the trim off. All the trim, also the headliner down. Now it's time to mark everything up for us. The roof, I got the skin, and I tried to find me a cardboard box big enough I can make a template. I think it's gonna be big enough. Let me open it up and then we'll see. Okay, I got my cardboard. I had to add another piece because it wasn't wide enough. But once you get your cardboard, you want to turn your frame top side down. Then you trace out around it. We're gonna trace out the outside of it. Also the inside, once we get this outside traced out. Trace this inside out as well. Once you get it, hold on, let me connect this right quick. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut this inside out. Let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do it with a razor blade. Okay, the inside cut out. Now you can do this two different ways. You could go ahead and cut this out, then put it on the car, get it lined up, then come in. It all depends on how much lip you got. You can see how much lip I got here. Then come in and draw a line on the car, then cut that out. But what I think I'm gonna do this time, I think I'm just gonna come in a little bit all the way around, just enough so I can slide this overlap on the car. See, I got plenty of room over here, also the front, but this side over here I ain't got that much room, so that's the, I guess I can trim some more off right here. If I can find my tape measure, I say about 1/4 of an inch. I'm gonna come in 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Okay, here's my marks. I just put some dots all the way around. I just gotta connect the dots. I got a straight edge here. Once I do that, I cut. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm just gonna connect the dots, then I'll cut y'all back on. Okay, I came in 1/4 of an inch. Over here came in a lot less because I don't have that much lip on this edge. Y'all can remember, now this, the back side, this is gonna be the back side of the frame because I turned it upside down. So we're gonna cut this out here. Okay, this cut out here, you gotta remember what's the front and the top. This the front here. Where my marker go? Okay, it's over here. We need to go ahead and mark that so we won't forget. But the front a lot smaller than the back, so you know. But we're gonna mark it anyway. Front. And now we're gonna get our tape measure and measure from one end to the other, the inside, just to find the center. And I'm thinking this gonna be the center where the antenna used to be, where the hole at. Then we'll find the center on our template and mark it. I got the center here on the front, also on the back. I'm gonna run a piece of tape right dead center, front to back. Then I put my template over my frame. You can see I got that lip all the way around like I want it. Over here I might gotta cut out a little bit more. See there? Cut out a little bit more. Got our masking tape, center. Then we'll go over here to the car and find center. We're gonna find center by the rearview mirror. Also this Prix in the hood. And on the back we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna shut the deck lid, the trunk. We're gonna go by this crease here. We're gonna run a piece of tape in the center. Here's the center. Now we'll go get our template and lay it up here on the roof. Okay, now you're gonna position that tape onto that tape. That'll be center. But on the LS quarter top, we gotta take it in consideration. The quarter top stops here, so the opening of the glass can't go no further back here. So it gotta come out somewhere along here. And also he wanna retain his switches on the headliner. So we're gonna have to leave room, make sure we got enough room for the switch to go, because it goes in there like that. So we're gonna have to make sure we got at least this much room in the front. Also, he wanna keep the light, so we're gonna have plenty of room in the back. So let me do some measurements and make sure, see if I got enough room up here. Let me get my tape measure. Everything's centered. We're gonna put a couple of pieces of tape, some tape down just to somewhat hold this cardboard down until we trace it out. Then we'll get our Sharpie, some gold Sharpie. We're gonna trace out just the outer. The inside was just for reference. I might have grabbed the wrong marker here. Let me grab another one. Let's see, I think I got a silver one. See will this one show up. Yeah, the silver one worked. I'm gonna trace out this outer, but the inside was just used for reference, so I can sun it using that as my glass. Then we'll go to the other side and do the same thing. Pull our template up. This is what we'll be cutting out. Let me go get the jigsaw and a drill bit. Here's the jigsaw. I was looking for my metal cutting blades, my jigsaw blades. I can't find them. I got this one and another one. Hopefully I can cut it with that. If not, I'll run the Harbor Freight. I'm gonna take my drill bit and make a few plunge holes so I can stick my jigsaw blade in, and I'll cut it out. It's cut out. Now we'll get our frame and test fit it. Hopefully we ain't got to do no trimming or nothing, but who knows. Looks like we're good. We're good to go. Now we'll take the frame back down and we'll move to the next step. Okay, we're gonna take the flap disc and grind all this down to bare metal. This much all the way around should be enough. Put these gloves on right quick. Now we'll blow this off here, put the frame back on, and in the morning we'll start welding it up. I'm getting ready to start welding now. This is just an old piece of sheet metal that I done cut out of the car. I just got it covering up the holes so no sparks won't get on the inside. I also got the seats covered up on the inside as well, and the glass. So make sure you do that. This the welder I'll be using, the Lincoln Electric 140 weld pack. And what you want to do, you want to do spot welds just all over, but you don't want to continuously run them. You want to do one here, then jump over here. So you want to heat up the metal. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to tack it around all four corners and just work my way on around, filling it up. I got it spotted all the way around. I still got to fill that hole right there where the antenna was at in the G6. So now I just go back and just continue filling it in little by little. I'm getting it, slowly but surely. Once you get it all welded up, you want to take a flap this and knock your wheels down so you can move on to the next step. Okay, once you get it welded, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take you some Duraglass, fiberglass filler. It ain't gotta be Duraglass. It can be any kind of fiberglass filler. What I like to do, I like to wipe the skim coat just around the wheels. Let's mix up some of this Duraglass. I'm not gonna mix up too much, especially if you're just not starting out. You don't waste it half trying to get it spread. So mix up just a little, enough to spread, then I mix up some more. I think that's gonna be enough this time. Get my hardener, knead it up. What I like to do, I just like to put a line right across it. There should be plenty, especially out here in the sun. Take it up here, spread it on. Here you go. I mixed up just enough. Y'all, spray work getting kind of good at this thing here. What y'all think? Once your fiberglass filler dry, you can take the DA and knock it down if it's not level. But mine's pretty level, so I'm not gonna take the DA. I'm just gonna skip and jump to this step here. We're gonna cut us some fiberglass mat out, some strips out. We got some fiberglass resin, paint, cup, chip brush, and a hardener. Then we're gonna put a strip right over this fiberglass filler we just laid, right over the seam.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Fiberglass mat and resin down. We'll let this dry. I'll probably end it right here for the day. Get back on it in the morning. Well, I said I was gonna start back in the morning, but my fiberglass mat, it done dried, so I might as well go ahead and sand this. I'm sanding with some 80 grit on the DA. Somewhat knock it down, rough it up. Then we'll wipe some more Duraglass fiberglass filler over that fiberglass mat.
Here, that day like this, ain't it?
The next day.
Okay, this the following morning. Today, we're gonna take the DA with 80 grit, knock all this down somewhat flat, get rid of all these rough edges, so we'll be able to lay some regular body filler on here. Also, I found some dings. We're gonna sand this down. Ding here, here, here. I think I got through on the other side as well. Well, I can take you over here and show it to you. It's warming up today already. Well, I marked it with a Sharpie, but you probably can't see it. It's one here and also here. So we gonna rough that up, put some filler in that at the same time we do this here. Knocked down with the DA, pretty much smooth. Now we're gonna take some body filler, lightweight gold by U-Paul, wipe a skim coat over the entire thing. Also, the owner, he wanted me to finish this out because y'all know they don't finish this out from the factory if it got the quarter top on it, and a lot of times this be rusted out because the water be sitting down up in here. So I'm gonna finish this out as well. Lightweight body filler. Then we're gonna take the same 80 grit on the DA, knock this down. We're just gonna try to knock this top layer off. Everything knocked down with the DA. Now it's time to start hand blocking. Before we start blocking, we're gonna put some dry guide coat on it. Then we'll be using, I gotta find the block, but let me put this guide coat on first. We're gonna be using 80 grit starting out. What the guide coat gonna do, it's gonna show us all our low airs once we start blocking. You can use flat black spray paint as well if you ain't got no dry guide coat. So we're gonna take it up here, go in the X pattern, back and forth. Okay, when you get through doing your X pattern, you want to wipe it off and see what you got. If you still see guide coat, that means that area there is low, like this here, somewhat low. This here is not guide coat, this is actually the color of the car. Well, hold up, nah, that is guide coat there. But right here, you can see I'm cutting down below the filler, getting down to the color of the actual car, so that area there is high. So you got to make sure you know the difference from the guide coat and the actual car. So you want to make sure you use maybe a different color. If you use spray paint, that'll help you out. Okay, I'm finished up with all the sanding as far as the 80 grit. Now we're gonna take some maroon Scotch-Brite. Got some here. We're gonna tear a piece off and scuff up all the areas that I didn't sand when I was doing the blocking, like all back here. That's so when I spray the primer, it'll have something to bond to. Also, I removed this tape where I had this blanket. I'm gonna prime all down up in there as well. I'm finally ready for my first round of primer. Try to get it sprayed before this wind start blowing again. I'm just gonna spray down to here. And I still gotta do this piece back here that I had held off on because the top was on. All right, let me mix this prime up. Finished up with the high build primer. My cut was leaking. You probably could see on the last clip, it was leaking right there, so I gotta block it a little bit more because it got some drips. I didn't have the cup tighten all the way up, with the lid tighten all the way up, but now we're gonna put some guide coat on it, flat black spray paint.
The next day.
Okay, we about to start blocking this morning here. We're gonna be using let's see, 180 on the long block. Same process as we did with the 80 grit, going in the X pattern. Just same thing, just a different grit. Get my step stool here. We'll go to blocking. Think about this 180, it's gonna clog up a lot faster than that 80 grit. So you're gonna be knocking your sandpaper off a lot. But you can see right here, let me show you. Right here, up in here, somewhat low. That's where the outline of the body fill is. But they all block out. Just keep on blocking. This 180 is getting the 80 grit scratches out. Getting a setup for our final prime. You can see another low spot here. All the blocking is complete. I blowed it off and wiped it down. Now I'm about to mix up my final primer. Final round of primer coming up. got the car unmasked. Now we about to put the G6 roof in. Then we'll start running the drain lines and wiring. Okay, now I'm about to spray this shade, the sunshade. It's like a beige color. I'm gonna go with a gray. I'm scuffing it up with a maroon Scotch Brite. There was a piece right here that I took off over here. I'll put it back on once I finish spraying it. I'm just prepping it right now. It's the paint I'm using. Rust-Oleum, satin, bonds of plastic, wood, metal, and more. Let me finish prepping it, then I'll cut you back on when I get ready to start spraying. Started running out of paint, so I had to run to Home Depot. Picked up another can. I also got me some drain lines. This is 3/8 of an inch. I had took the let me see if I can find it. Get it in my pocket somewhere. I had took this with me, make sure it was gonna be big enough to go down up in there. So I'm good with that. Let me finish painting the shade. I also got to paint this here. Here's the shade. I got it out here in the sun, letting it dry. But while I let this dry, we might as well start on the drain lines. Let me show you where back drain lines will be running. We're gonna run them. We're gonna pull this here back here. We're gonna run them down through here, down the C-pillar. They're gonna come out back there. We'll drill a hole somewhere here and run them out the fender wheels up in here. And we'll be using a 3/8 drill bit, so it'll be tight. Let me see if I can show you where I drilled it. I got the drill right here, sitting above the tire. I'll show you where it came out. And the trunk is coming out. Let me see here. Let me see the drill bit right there. So that's where I run the drain line. It's a hole right here. I run it down through there, down through where I got the drill bit. Okay, this is where it's starting at. I gotta hook it up to the roof itself. I gotta leave some slack for it, but it's going down here. You can see all the way out. See it here, out to the wheel well. All right, we'll do the other side. Okay, I got the back drain lines ran. Now on the front, we're gonna come down the A-pillar all the way down on the side of the dash. what you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to take the door seal up so you can remove this kick panel. Once you remove the kick panel, well, let me remove it, then I cut you back on. Okay, once you get the kick panel removed, only thing you want to do, you want to pull it back to get it out the way. Then you're gonna have to pull the carpet back right here where the emergency brake at, pretty much right up under it. Got some wires there. You want to make sure them wires out the way, but you want to drill around by right here, straight down, and you're gonna be drilling through 2 pieces of metal. So you're gonna hit the first piece and go through it, but you're gonna have to go through another layer of metal. Once I get it drilled, I'll show it to you. All right, I got it drilled. You can see right here, it's 2 pieces of metal. Look like they about a 1/4 of an inch, no, maybe 1/2 of an inch separated. But that's the floor pan. And you probably ain't gonna be able to see no light because the inner fender well is behind it. But the inner fender well probably be 1 inch off from it. Let me show you where it'll come out. It's gonna come out behind the inner fender well right here. So it's gonna drip below the frame, on the side of the frame now. But you don't have to take the inner fender well off just to do that. Now I just run my hose, my line. Make sure you run it through both layers of metal though, because if you don't, it'll be draining down in between the frame. Well, not the frame, but the floor pan. See, I got the line, pushing it down through on the side of the dash. Then you reach up under here. Then you pull it down. See, here it go. Then you run it out your 2 holes there. I ain't made it through the second one yet. Sometimes you gotta play with it. There you go. Make sure you got enough slack. Then you run it up the A-pillar. That's it. Do the same way with the other side. But the other side you're gonna have to remove the computer because it's sitting on the side of the kick panel on this side. Okay, I got all the drain lines ran. Now I'm getting rid of a lot of wires that I don't need. I'm trying to figure out what wires is going to what lights. He want me to hook up the interior light to the light in the headliner. That's this light, and I got that wire here. So it's gonna come on when the door is open. And the lights in the console switch here with the roof switch, I'm gonna have those hooked up straight to the battery. You can cut these on at any time. All right, guess we'll clean it on up. Okay, as far as getting power to the roof, I gotta add a fuse. I'm just gonna add this to a fuse. I want the roof to work when you turn the key on, so I'm gonna find a fuse that run by the ignition. Then I add this, put my fuse in, and run this to the power of the roof, the hot. And the ground, I just ground it off on the somewhere on the body. About to freshen up the bezels to the light and the switches using the same paint. I'm gonna clean it up first, then I'm gonna scuff it up with the maroon Scotch-Brite and spray it. Okay, I got the wiring and the drain lines ran. This the interior light. I just got it hanging until I do the headliner. It's gonna be on a separate video. And the wires running on the side of the track. Power wire. I got the power wire tied into my gauge fuse. You probably can't see it, but it's on the lower left. And you can see I got everything taped up for the time being. Train lines, power wire, and the interior wire here. I just tied it into the existing interior wire. And here's the switches to the control. Got them hanging down in place until I do the headlamp. Now I guess I'll do the top. I gotta put the top back on, quarter top. I'll be drilling some holes in here for the actual fiberglass shell. I guess I'll take you along me doing that. Got my rivet gun. I also got with the Harbor Freight, got some more rivets because I was running low on them. So let's put the top on. Okay, I got the top on. Now I just got to put this trim piece on here. But I don't have no holes because I had cut that metal out in order to do the panoramic. So I'm going to have to drill some more holes. Then I got some, if I can find them, they're over here. I got to put some more these inside of the holes. Once I drill them, they'll hold the trim piece down. I'm just gonna put it here. I still got the hole on each side. I just got to drill 1, 2, 3, 6 holes. I'm just gonna line it up, then mark it with a Sharpie. Then I drill the holes out.
One eternity later.
All right, here's the completed job of the G6 Panoramic in the box Chevy. I got the dome light, it's hanging down. It should come on when I open the door here. Y'all see it came on. Let's go on the inside, I'll show you how it look. That's the shade there, the controls, and the dome light. Let's get in here. See the dome light? I'm gonna push the button here and the door jam. And these lights here is hooked up to the accessory. You gotta have the key turn for them to work. Now let's hit the shade here. Shade all the way back. We're gonna open the roof. We're gonna put it on 4. Let's open all the way. Then we'll put it on 3. That's 3. We'll put it on 2. And we'll put it on 1. That's just gonna have this top glass with this front glass tilted on 1. On 0, everything closed. Alright, let's open it up one more time, all the way. we'll go ahead and close it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about it. Stay tuned for the headliner video. About to start on it now.
Right from the